Hari Om. Continue. Study the Yoga Chudamani Upanishad, the crown jewel of yoga. And we stopped on the mantra 62, the Brahma and Shakti. Getting into the very basic topics of fundamentals of the understanding of the yoga, how it works, and what are we, how we exist in this world. So the Sanskrit is Bindur Brahma Rajah Shakti Bindurindo Rajo Ravi Ubhayo Sangama Deva Prapyatte Paramam Padam. Translation is the Bindu, Shukla, is Brahma and Rajas is Shakti. Bindu is the moon and Rajas is the sun. By using the two, the high state is attained. Very simple, short sentences, and that's the beauty of all these mantras. They're so simple, but yet so encompassing everything about the universe, creation, our part, and every small intricate for our daily life. Commentary. This mantra refers to Shukla, or the white Bindu, as Brahma, and to Rajas, the red Bindu, as Shakti. And we talked in previous two mantras specifically about what is a red Bindu, white Bindu, and how to join them and why you want to do that. Brahma is the divine conscious force responsible for creation at all levels, from subtle to gross and from cosmic to individual. At the physical level, Brahma corresponds to the semen at the region of the Sushumna Chakra. Semen is required in order to procreate new life forms. At the subtle level, Brahma corresponds to the moon or consciousness into Amrita, the nectar of immortality, which drips down from the moon for the purpose of creation and sustenance at the physical level, where the individual first emerges from the unmanifested state. So here we are joining these two fundamental terms, Brahma Shakti, which is the basics of our universe existence according to the scriptures or any Buddhist or yogi or Vedic understanding. At the same time, it's all represented in our body, and it's as simple as semen here and the drip that coming from your Bindu, the Amrit, which we talked about numerous times. Rajas is said to be Shakti because it's equated with the manifest nature and qualities of creation. Brahma is the creator and Shakti is the creation. At the physical level, Rajas or Shakti is represented by the menses, which nourish the embryo of new life form in the womb. At the subtle level, Rajas is the sun, which represents the Prana Shakti or vital force responsible for maintenance of life at the physical and mental levels. So here, from just these two paragraphs, we can say the Brahma, it's the one that actually, that's where the kind of Amrit come from. So it's not just, it's this entity that exists in the world and this life force, which it's come from the Brahma, from the start of all. Rajas is a Shakti because it's created with the manifest nature and qualities of creation. And the Shakti, it's what was created. It's a Brahma creator and a Shakti creation. And if you want to simplify it, and that's how I understand it, Brahma is this universal God existence, world. You can call it whatever energy, whatever exists in the world, where everything come from and going to. And to experience itself, it's want to observe itself. So, because like, for example, I'm sitting right now in my room, but I cannot experience myself. So if I was mighty God, I would create a part of me which separates from me, which can enjoy, watch or listen to me, as you might say. That's what, kind of represented in the scriptures, that the Shakti is the Rajas. The Rajas is something like driving force, something, the energy, yeah? So, and Rajas is the Shakti because it's nature qualities and the creation. So it's ensuring, it's have this driving force to move, change, exist, yeah? Because we know about the three gunas. You cannot create something or destroy something without this driving force, which is Shakti responsible for. And the physical level, it's the mentis, nourish embryo of the new life form in the womb. And the subtle level, Rajas is the sun, yeah, which is Prana Shakti or vital force. You can always think about all the scriptures metaphorically, so this kind of is people trying to explain why we have myth and legends and gods and religion. Yeah, for example, religion is a separate topic. Religion is something being created by basically government to sustain people in a particular paradigm. But the people themselves always create gods, beliefs, superstitions, for example, the cream of our everyday behavior. So the moral, I'll say cream in terms of like the best, the best, something that's been sublimated in a simple, understandable, and very important form. Or even mythology, for example, or like even fairy stories for children. They're not something just to entertain, like what we have today. In today's world, we have a lot of stuff that just entertain us. And there could be something interesting behind it, but very randomly. Most of the time, it's something they're just going to drive through us, take our time and energy, and that's it. But every fairy story or little belief or saying, in the culture aspect is created to give your, like the scriptures here, in a short form, simplified for understanding everybody through symbology. It doesn't have to be directly saying some moral attitude or teaching, but it's through symbology and the way it's structured or said. When you hear it as a child or just a human being, it will bring you this underlying understanding of the world. And that's what I love, the yogic Upanishads or mantras, even though anything they've been written down, it's very sublimated, not simplified, but shortened and exhumed for the whole, knowledge into the simple form, so it can lie down to you even if you not understand so much, what is Shakti, what is Brahman. That's why we have fairy stories in every people, folks who live for particular lengths of time. And I'm not talking about some short-term civilizations, for example, like I don't know, United States. The United States being created by colonies, and whatever the mythology existed on this land was discarded, and something was brought from the original countries. But because people were eager to create something new, different from the homelands where they come from, for example, old world. In the new world, they created this, we're not called fake mythology, but mythology that didn't brood through hundreds of years of history of these people, who live on a particular piece of land. If you compare it, for example, to original mythology so their Celtic mythology or this something like that, it has hundreds or even thousands of years, these brewing juices. So similar like in India, it's been changed through historical events and imposed on them whatever religion patterns that happen through the history. But at the same time, it's the wisdom of the people basically that carried it through generations. So here, Shakti and Brahman, it's something universal, simplified in a form, and explained to you through your physical body. That's how I could summarize it. I don't know why I just said it all, but it's just come through me. Two forces of sun and moon merge at Ajna, the spiritual experience dawns. Shakti merged with Shiva or Brahma. The dimension of Shiva, we call Shiva the Brahma, Brahman as well. So it depends which lineage you are, or, it doesn't matter, you can call it other way. The dimensions of Shiva or the Brahma, the pure consciousness, it forms Ajna up to Sahasrara Chakra. So this connection between Ajna, the thing here in the middle of the head, towards the Sahasrara, that's one that outside of our kind of control or existence. The Sahasrara is something beyond our here physical presence in this life. This is the Brahma, and that's very logical. This is Shiva or Brahma. At Bindu Visagra, the one there, the center of the moon, Shukla Brahma resides in the form of Nada, the primordial vibration. Nada, you heard I talked a lot about Nadi channels, but it's Nadi, but this is Nada. It's probably similar, it is similar root of the word. Nada, it's also the primal vibration. And everything that exists, like this energy in the world, it's come from this, it's basically in the form of the sound. And I don't know if this is, it is physically, by modern science, as well explained like that. So every wavelength, it's like a form of the sound, or form of the wavelength, or the wave, which transported energy or transmuted energy or changed the energy. But in every religious scriptures, we always heard about the first was the sound, and then in physical that manifests. So that's what this primordial form, nada, primordial vibration. At Ajna Chakra experienced at the mind. Yeah? The dimension of Rajas or Shakti is form Muladhara to Manipura, the sun. The awakening of prana within the body is stabilized at this level. Yeah, so it's basically summarized whatever we've been talking all before, all these different chakras and where the Kundalini wakes up. And remember this, we talk about Manipura and Muladhara and Swadhisthana, these 3 points. Little disagreement between where it starts from, your Kundalini rising, you reach from Manipura or from Mula. And here it says, so this is the dimension of Shakti, of Rajas, and this is where your awakening of the body is stabilized at this level. And then you have this middle point with the joint in the higher, which is Brahma. So Brahman, Shakti, joint. And we talked about it last with the red and white Bindu joint, which is Shakti. And then Brahman, basically, it's all about the same. And we created this inner heart. It's the one place when they kind of equal position between these two and where they meet. And that's where we actually feel the most deepest emotion or sorrow. And on our physical level, so everything beyond, like whatever we feel here on a higher levels, it's more connected to our outside of the body existence. That's how I see it, understand. Everything below, we kind of feel it on more instinctive animal levels, and everything in the heart we feel on a level of kind of here right now, and that's where the joint, and that's where we have this creation of the Vid star. We talked about this last time. The awakening of prana involves the withdrawal of both bindus from Muladhara and Swadhisthana chakras. Brahma and Shakti, which formerly manifested through these centers as reproductive power, sensual desire and passion, manifest through Manipura Chakra as willpower, Ajna Chakti, and the power of action, Kriya Shakti. Kriya, it's basically, it's mean action, yeah? Willpower in Manipura, and we talked about this, the Manipura, it's chakra course. It's a very driving force, like a warrior chakra, so everything go forward, go through, push through. That's your willpower, your Manipura. You can have willpower, but not, but you don't have any energy for the actual action, Or opposite, you don't have willpower, but you have a lot of action energy, and you end up with unnecessary, like angry explosions or tantrums, this kind of stuff. The merge of Brahma and Shakti at Manipura brings about the awakening of Prana Shakti, which in turn activates the Kundalini. So Kundalini resides in Muladhara, but we have to start the fire here in Manipura. So when you reach the Manipura and then awakening up, so you start awakening up. So, and it's like physically, I see it and explain it, and everything else in the world, we need to create empty space, vacuum, so the energy go into a particular place. And that's what you do basically in your body. You're cleaning those channels, widening them, nadis. You activated chakras. So chakras is like this little motor, this little energy center which you have to activate. So you kind of shrinking and expanding them, or spin probably better interpretation. And the moment you're creating this, it's energy start driving there, or prana. And prana, it is the energy. When you have enough strong pull, so it's kind of like you're creating geomagnetic conductors. So you have to have minus plus, but you also have to coil your wires to create this field, magnetic field, so the energy starts flowing from one direction to other. So that's what we're basically doing in our body, and we don't have to think about all this in a very complicated forms. And I know when I started learning deeper and all this little intricate understanding of all the chakras, nadis, how they connect, what's happening, symbology, there was the moment when you feel overwhelmed. It's a little bit too complicated trying to visualize, picture it, and trying to understand, these God's names and symbolical visions. But in the same time, it's all transparent and simple. It's as simple as your battery in your, in your hairdryer. You're creating energy pool, and you're waking up, and they're just different levels, different vibrations. It's as in a rainbow, we see different colors because it's just different wavelengths of the transmitted light energy. That's what we're creating in the body. And when you understand it not on your mental level, but on your physical, everyday breathing, kind of existing level, when you sit in a room and you just become aware of your body, you can understand it on that level. I don't know how else to explain it. You will start controlling it. And of course, the only way to learn it is through some yoga practices. Although some people can practice a lot yoga and talk about the goddesses and images and symbology, but unless you feel it through your physical presence, through your body on this very gross level, through to the subtle, you cannot understand it. So that's why I invite you not just reading or listening about the text and scriptures. It might feel a little bit too overwhelmed, stay in the head, but just do very simple practices to start understanding it on your physical level, or even observing yourself when you feel any emotions, because emotions, it's as a physical kind of rebounding repose response for these energetic fluctuations. It's very simple. So you're creating an energy impulse, and it's as a result your body reacts as emotion, because we're human beings. Animals do the same. You don't have to even create specific emotions in yourself. You can just have some kind of sound or vibration. You might not even hear it. It could even go through whatever wireless towards you. You will feel in the room or whatever in the space you are, these high vibrations or low vibrations. That's why it's explained so simple how sometimes we talk to somebody and we straight away kind of don't feel comfortable with that person, or we feel opposite, that we want to spend more time, and there's something attractive energetically. Even the person cannot say anything or say something simple, that there's a rain outside. So it's not about hormonal attractiveness. This is what psychology explains very simplified. We're driven by the hormones and some traumas, and that's how it's over. Yeah, there's a truth. But you also you discarded all this, what you're reading on your energy level, on your spiritual level, all these things, any vibration, everything emits a vibration, because we are created from, if you look on your body, you are just a combination of atoms. What is the atoms? It's just the little electrons with the electrons, just the little quantums of the light or whatever energy. That's it, there's nothing else. That's why when you kind of get on understanding through that level, you understand that first of all, you can use it to do something, create energy, dissipate energy, redirect the energy. You can manifest to change yourself if you need to, and you can have a control of it, and then you can read it in other people. So that's, I don't know why I say that to you. That's something that's coming through today. The merge of Brahman and Shakti at Manipura brings about the awakening of Prana Shakti, which in turn activates the Kundalini. From Manipura, the energy of Brahma, Shakti, and Kundalini, or Ida Pingala and Sushumna, arise through Anahata and Vishuddhi, throat, to Ajna, where that merge takes place again, awakening the power of knowledge. That's what we call Ajna Chakra. It's like a energy of knowledge and one who see, who know. From Ajna, Brahma and Shakti ascend to Bindu Visarga as one potential force, which is known as Parabindu. You see the Ida Pingala Sushumna we talked about previous time. Again, you call it Brahma, Shakti, and Kundalini. Kundalini, the Sushumna, or it's the channels through which this energy moves. Will is transcended sensuality and passion, and enlightenment is transcended mind. So let's understand this again. Will, so this action of the will, is transcended sensuality and passion. Yeah, if you have a passion and sensuality, you will transcend it as a will. And enlightenment is transcended mind. Yeah? So your mind, when the moment you transcended your mind, basically just lighten up or activate all your brain, you can simplify it like that, this is your enlightenment. Will and higher awareness evolve from the instincts, desires, and lower mind through the merge of Brahma and Shakti, or Shukla and Rajas. So first at Manipura and then at Ajna. So whatever you have here, this is your instincts, desires, lower mind, very interesting. And when you merge it, you bring it up through here towards your Ajna. You merge the Brahma and Shakti, you Ida Pingala through Sushumna. First at Manipura, and then it rise up to your Ajna. It's again and again explains how Kundalini awakening happens, how the enlightenment happens. Hari Om.